Y'all excuse me just a minute. I need a kiss. Okay. Whew. That was amazing. So, I don't know if y'all want to take a vote or not. You think Kim would know if I just sat down and she just sang the rest of the service? She would feel, yeah. I guess she would, wouldn't she? Oh, I'm so glad to be back. It's so good to see everybody here. Thank you. You guys are so loving. It just blows my mind. Am I in the right? It just blows my mind every time I get to come here. And we chose to come do meditation this morning, and that was just awesome. So, I'm going to talk to you today about cutting strings. What kind of strings? Whose strings? Mine or yours. So, I'm going to read a little bit, and then I'm going to talk a little bit, and I'm going to read a little more, and then I'm going to talk a little more. So, here we go. I hope it works. Okay. The first police officer reaches under the 1-ton bale of hay and attempts to lift it off of me. Of course, it doesn't budge. He grabs his flashlight and shines it under the hay into my face. I blink. He yells over his shoulder to his partner, "He's alive, he's alive. Help me move the hay." Even working together, 2 officers can't move it, not a fraction of an inch. 1,000 pounds each. Of course they can't move it. "Cut the strings," I whisper. My voice is very weak. They can't hear me. I am not going to last much longer. If they will just cut the strings, the bale would break apart and they can drag me out of here. "Lift, Joe, lift. Just cut the strings," I mumble. "Please cut the strings. Come on, harder. It's too heavy. We can't lift it. We got to go for help. Hang on. We'll be right back." Oh, my goodness. Can you even imagine? So part of this cutting string thing, I had a conversation with Reverend Kim, God love her. I called her and I said, "Reverend Kim, I have no voice." And she goes, "Janet, I don't either." And I went, great. So I'm still squeaking, actually. So the big part in that awareness and conversation, I finally ended up asking her if she would hold me accountable to take care of myself. If she would help me to figure out how to be consistent in taking care of myself. Now, you guys, I know we talk about this over and over and over. Well, I don't know about y'all. I talk about this over and over and over again. It's so important about self-love, right? Self-respect, self-care. What good are we to anybody else if we are not willing to love us first? Do we practice what we preach? How dare I stand up here and tell you how to be if I'm not going to be it myself? Hypocrisy just drives me crazy. So it was so important for me to understand. I mean, the conversation, she was calling me to tell me how to handle things here. Go figure. And it was okay because I needed to know that. And at the same time, I wanted to make sure she was okay. And so we talked, and it became a very good conversation, and I appreciate it so much. But it's these things that we tend to do. I have one example I'd like to share with you, and it's not, I've chosen it. I've chosen this situation that is going on in my life right now. I have an aunt who turned 88 on December 7th. Did I talk about that last time? Okay. Thank God. I'd be telling another story the same way. I have an aunt that I absolutely adore. She turned 88 on December 7th. I call her my utter mutter. You got it? Yeah. So my parents, as I shared before, were very loving when they were available and not drinking. And so my aunt and uncle were the other parents. I mean, they were there for us constantly. It was my dad's brother and his wife. My uncle passed a couple of years ago. And so my aunt is on her own now. Don't you close on me. Oh, okay. So my aunt is on her own now. Now here's the rest of the story. She has 3 children. The middle child has died from alcohol and drug abuse. The youngest son, the baby, who she absolutely has, forgive me, Janie, enabled the snot out of. God love her. And he had a massive stroke a number of years ago, and he's bedridden. He's 65, and she's taking care of him on her own. She won't let anybody else touch him. She won't let anybody else take care of him. Nobody can take care of her baby like she can. Now, is she doing him any good? No. Thank you. So, my piece in all of this is, I'm sorry, let me back up. She has a daughter as well. She's the oldest. She had a massive stroke. She's legally blind. So she's got 2 children that are left and are totally dependent. And so I'm not condemning anything that she chooses to do. Please don't hear that. She adores her children. They are what keeps her going. However, my aunt was just diagnosed with Parkinson's and scleroderma. Anybody know what that is? If you don't, it's the hardening of the skin, which means major organs start hardening and they stop functioning. And so, anyway, I attempt every 2 weeks or so to go be with her, to take her to doctor's appointments because she's not able to drive anymore, to take her son to doctor's appointments because he can't do anything, and to go grocery shopping for her, to do whatever needs to be done around the house because she's my utter mother, you know? And she's very important to me. And to say that there are moments when I'm there that I don't resent the heck out of the situation, I would be lying. I get in that car to go to the grocery store. She wants what? I don't think I'm going to get her that this time just because. Right? And I'll tell you what, there's been a number of times that I have said, I'm going to cut the strings with this family. I can't stand it anymore. But I can't. No, that's not true. I'm choosing not to. Got to correct that. I'm choosing not to. And there's a reason. That woman has loved me beyond belief, beyond anything that I could ever imagine besides my parents. And so it's as if I'm having to watch my mom slowly go. You know, and so I'm there for her. It is not easy. And every time I say, Lynn, I need to go to Janie's, he goes, go, babe. If you need to go, go. And then I go, I don't want to go. I don't want to go there. However, I meditate and I pray, and I know if it's time or not. And once I get there, I remember. So, back to the hay. I'm alone again in the growing darkness. Wonderful, painless, peaceful, irresistible sleep beckons. I struggle to remain conscious. 1, 2, 3, 4. Where are they? How long does it take for police, fire, ambulance to arrive? Where's the Coast Guard? Where are the Marines? Where's that one old farmer with enough common sense to just cut the strings, right? The desert air grows chilly as the sky darkens. I grow weaker. Dizziness overcomes me, and I begin to drift off into that gray space, somewhere between the living and the dead. Help finally arrives. One of the police officers bends down so I can see his face. Hold on. A fire engine's here. There are 6 men aboard. I do the math as I'm dying. 2 big, strong cops, 6 burly firemen, must move a ton of dead weight off of me. That's 245 pounds each. Now, is there any way they can possibly do that? But somehow, miraculously, they do. A couple of neighbors who have arrived at the scene stand by to catch me. They lower my limp body to the ground where I lie in a broken heap. Why didn't they cut the strings? They could have saved a long, tortured hour. Why don't we cut the strings? Why don't we? Do you have situations in your life that you need to cut the strings on? Are there opportunities where you have said over and over again, maybe, boy, I think it'd be a lot more peaceful if I didn't have this in my life, or this in my life, or something. I don't know. Actually, I think I was cut No, 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 no. I wasn't cut. The strings of me was cut by two people recently because it's a choice they had to make for them to move forward on what they needed to do. Was it painful? Yes, very painful. But your song was just fabulous. I mean, truly, it was just fabulous because it's so true. Sometimes it's very painful. When you have to make a decision to better yourself, to open yourself up to the opportunities that you have that you didn't know, that you didn't know, that you didn't know you had, because all this other stuff is in your way, right? Is it time to wake up? Hello? Yeah. Thank you. Oh, I think somebody wrote a book about that. Anyway. It's so important about self-care. So, as I was talking to Kim, and once I finished conversing with her and hung up, I got a brand new calendar for Christmas. Woo! I love brand new clean calendars. It's already messed up, but that's okay. I have 2025 caretaking of myself. Caretaking of myself. 1, massages. I can't tell you the last time I had one. Can you tell me when you had one? Go, girl. You go. Chiropractor, which I do anyway. And he's been begging me to go get massages, but I hadn't done it yet. Tai Chi. You guys, I met the most amazing woman in Waxahachie. And she is a bodybuilder and a worker-outer and a coach of working out and all that fun stuff. Anyway, she does workout in chairs for senior citizens, and I found out about it, and I started working out with her and loved it. And then one of my dearest friends from 30-some-odd years ago is a chair yoga instructor, and so I'm involved in that. Well, now there's Tai Chi in the chair. Boy, I love chairs. Man, for somebody that's been a couch potato her whole life, I'm doing darn good working out. So I have Tai Chi, Alicia's workout group, and now I'm going to work one-on-one with Alicia to really get stronger. Number 6, play with Len a lot, if he's willing. Number 7, open up a Betty Boop museum. We have the largest Betty Boop collection in the world. We're in Guinness Book. We, forgive me, Kim, I have to say this. Go to WFAA.com, Channel 8 News, put in Betty Boop, it'll be our collection. Number 8, guest speaking full time. Number 9, meet once a week with the beautiful woman I shared with you about the last time that lives here in Saxe. I was going to say Syracuse. Where'd that come from? 10, do workshop once a month. I have some incredible workshops to do. 11, I do interfaith services, which brings in all the faiths in one sitting, and we share together. And then 12, Night of Dreams, which is a workshop I do once to twice a year. It's 12 weeks long. That's my caretaking of myself. What kind of list will you make for you? Yes. So, how heavy is hay? Not much, huh? A piece of hay is about the weight of a feather. How many pieces of hay does it take to make 2,000 pounds? A lot, right? Lots. So, that package of 16 bazillion individual pieces of hay wrapped in a gigantic bundle is a crushing weight. But separated, it could have been nothing. And I kind of feel bad saying this because it makes me sound ungrateful, and I am very grateful to the guys who saved my life that night. But there is a point to be made here, isn't there? And the point is it too big? What you're doing in your life, is it too big? Is it too much? Are you overwhelmed? I was sick for about, it's been 2 months now. Got a sinus infection. Oh, well. I have allergies. We have 10 cats. We know it's going to happen. Actually, I do allergy shots every week. They not helping. And then I lost my voice. Oh my God, my husband was so happy. He's kidding. I wasn't. I'm an extrovert, y'all, but anyway. So things get to be overwhelming. It could become too much, right? So what we want to do is make sure that what we're focusing on is not about all that stuff outside of us, but what's going on inside of us. And what part of me do I need to focus on and love and care and heal? And the biggest piece for me is, are you buried under crushing burdens? Projects that are too huge, schedules that are too complicated. Maybe you are trying to do too much at once. Women, we can't relate to that, can we? Sorry, guys, but women. Trying to do everything instead of doing something. If you would pick today and pick one thing to care for you, right? What would that be? Just have a thought. What would that be to take care of you? Cut the strings and cut yourself free. Do one thing at a time and get it done. Most importantly, self-love. And in closing, love is not what we are searching for. And I keep hearing this over and over. The world needs love. What the world needs now, I'm not singing, is love, sweet love. The obstacles that we have in the way are what we need to be searching for and to heal and to get out of the way so that love can become present. Thank you. So, in knowing this information now, once again, we're going to get to close our eyes. Please, again, it's all about feeling grounded and connected. So if you're willing to unload your lap, if you're unwilling, that's okay too. And just take a deep breath. If you're able to close your eyes, please feel comfortable in doing that. And in this space right here, right now, in this glorious, beautiful space, with these beautiful people that are so loving and kind, we come together, knowing what our hearts desire, knowing what we truly are here to be and what we are here for. So as we sit in the silence for just a few moments, I ask you to just take a look at what one thing are you willing to do today for you. It's not about guilt. It's not about anything else. It's about what you need to do for you so that you can be fully present, to be that love we so longingly say is needed in this world. If you take a deep breath now, move your toes and your fingers and just let yourself come back to this space and bring that thought with you. Know that you are surrounded in love. Know that whatever it is yours if you choose it to be. And when you're ready, open your eyes.